It was November 1986. My friend Mary drove with me from Florida to New York City to do a trade show. And on Sunday night, when the show ended, we ducked behind my display and swapped out our pantyhose and high heels for that honored staple of Florida fashion, rubber flip-flops. It took us till 10 o'clock at night to break down the display and load it. We were sweaty and hot. We didn't notice the air was getting very cold, and our suitcases were buried under the display in the back of the van. But we had our overnight things. We climbed into the seats and headed to Midtown. The plan was to go through the tunnels to New Jersey. By the time we got to the tunnel, it was snowing. But I didn't worry about it because snow is a northern thing. We were heading south. And when we got out of the tunnel in New Jersey, we were in a thick falling snow. But hey, we were going to be out of it soon because we were heading south. Cars started exiting the highway. The snow was actually piling up on the sides. And I pulled into one of those service stations right on the roadside, of the highway. And an attendant came out and he said, "You gals are in luck. You're my last customer. I'm closing up and getting out of here before the roads are impassable, and you should too." And I said, "That bad?" And he said, "Yeah, sweeping up from the south." So I said, "Well, where is the nearest motel?" 2 exits up. But by the time we got to that exit, the service road was snowed in. We had no choice but to keep going. The snow was piling up in drifts. The 3 lanes became pressed into 2. And as we were driving, I saw headlights in my rearview mirror. Another car came swooping past us on the left, and as he did, he skidded into a snowbank. And his bumper dislodged. It boomeranged in the air. It spun like a propeller right across the shallow hood of my Ford van, missing us by inches. And I drove on. I think it was 10 minutes before I could unlock my fingers from the steering wheel. And we were captives on the road. There was no way to pull over or off. Until finally the snow stopped when we got to D.C., and we started to encounter service roads that looked passable. And I saw a sign that said, "Food, gas, lodgings, 2 miles." Yes! I checked my tank. I had 1/8 of a tank. But a half mile from the exit, the engine quit. I was duped by a faulty gauge. I coasted over to the side of the road. Mary and I looked at each other and said, "We can walk this." And that was how we came to be on that desolate service road in the darkest part of the night, surrounded by a landscape of snow and a starry black sky. Holding on to each other, our arms linked and pressed against our chests like an infinity sign. 2 pilgrims in search of the amenities of civilization, every step challenged by our rubber flip-flops and our freezing feet. And as we rounded the curve of the road, we saw it. The red and orange lights of a gas station illuminating the night sky with a neon promise, clean restrooms. We dragged ourselves into the station, and a woman looked up at me, and in a voice that sounded like too many years of cigarettes and gin, she said, "Otis, we got some women folks need some help." Otis took us to our van with a gallon of gas. We got back to the station and filled up, traveled another half a mile to that Mecca of the weary, the Holiday Inn. The morning sun melted the snow. We resumed our journey. We went, woohoo, when we crossed the Florida line. And Mary said to me, this has been a good trip. And it was an odd thing to say considering what we had been through. But I knew what she meant. We had survived with confidence, with perseverance, and with amazing grace. And I said, yes, this has been a good trip. Thank you.